Hi, it's Dana Warren here for Hampton Art, and today I'm going to show you how to make this card, and it features some stenciling with doilies instead of some plastic stencils. To get started, you're going to need just a basic white cardstock, some dye ink. We're going to use Hero Art's Fresh Peach and Mint Julep. The stamps we're going to use are Hampton Art's Echo Park Paper Co., the O Snap set, and Jelly Beans Chilled Cucumber Soup set. We're also going to use some embellishments. Like I said, we're going to be using some doilies. They're also by Jelly Bean. They come with several different kinds here. We're also going to be using some corrugated shapes. The pack comes with butterflies, these little asterisks, and clouds. We're also going to need kind of just ink blender tool, some cardstock, just a scrap piece right here, and then a little strip. And then I also used just some little sequins to put on my butterfly. So to get started, we're going to ink up our background, and we're going to need some doilies. These doilies are not your typical doily. They're kind of a cardstock doily, which makes them perfect for using as stencils. I'm going to use this one. As you can see, I used to make the other card first, and then we're going to actually be stamping and inking on some other ones. Let's see, I think I'm going to use this one. Yeah, I think that will work. So I'm going to set that one aside. So first, I'm going to get out my ink, and I'm going to just basically place this doily wherever I kind of want to have the shape in. And I'm going to use my blending tool, and you got to press firmly so this doesn't move. And I just basically ink in the areas that you can kind of see through. And I just kind of go in circle motion. You can go as light or as dark as you want. I also like to have a little bit of, I guess you kind of almost call like a halo on the outside, so you can get kind of more definition to your doily that way, kind of the outside rim too. So I'm just going to go and continue all around, and also add some more doilies throughout my card base to just kind of fill it in and kind of create my own background pattern. This is super easy. You can do it with ink or paint. I mean, really anything. And it's nice that at the end I'll have this really cool minty doily to play with too on a different card. Okay, so now we have our card base all nice and inked up with our background. And the next thing I'm going to take is this this doily here, and I'm going to stamp on it. I'm going to kind of bring in our melon color here, and I'm going to use the doily from the Echo Park set, Oh Snap, this little stamp right here. So I'm just going to ink it up and kind of just stamp all over this white doily here. Alright, just like that. And I'm going to just clean up my mat here. Some baby wipes. Get this ink all over the place. Okay, and then I'm also going to ink up the edges of the doily. Just kind of add a little bit to it, kind of some contrast. So I'm just gonna lightly ink up the edges here. Okay. So now if I place my doily on there, you can kind of see the background. And I wanted kind of like basically a solid color with all this patterns, be like really crazy. So instead of trying to search through my cardstock, trying to match and everything, I kind of just basically make my own. And the way I do that is I just take my ink, and sometimes I go straight from paper into the pad, but in this case I just wanted to use the wrong one. I wanted to match nicely and just kind of use just a little bit and not get like a super dark ink drenched area. So I just go in with my blending tool, and on a scrap piece of paper that's white, I just kind of add the ink and just smear it all around until I can get a nice consistency that I like and a shade that I like. I can go really light or really dark depending on what I want. So I can just blend it all together, and then I can take my doily and kind of see if my spot's big enough. So I need a little bit more down here. Like that should be good. Okay. So all I want to do is just adhere my doily over this spot here, and then I'll cut out the white. There. So now I have a nice matching background, solid cardstock there. Alright, so I'm going to be placing that guy about there, and I'm also going to add a butterfly, one of the Jelly Beans corrugated butterflies here. See, I think we get a bigger one might not work better here. Alright, so I'm actually going to adhere him about there. Now I'm going to add my doily shape with some foam dots here to give it a little bit of dimension. Okay, so now he's on there good. And I'm going to end up putting my butterfly there, but first I want to add a sentiment. So I'm going to take just a strip of white cardstock, and I'm going to use this Thanks from Jelly Bean. It's the Chilled Cucumber Soothe Set. And I'm going to use the mint ink. Going to line it up on my mat to make sure it's straight. I'm going to stamp it just kind of in the middle of my strip here. That. Let's see, that's, I don't like that. It's nice as you got the back to play with too. Ink it up one more time. Here, that's a little better. Okay, so I'm gonna put my strip, let's see, probably about there. And I'm going to add a notch in it. So I'm going to add that about here or so. There we go. Alright. So that's about where I want to place it. So I'm going to glue my strip and my butterfly down. Alright. So I'm going to just take a little bit of glue and put it on the back. Kind of where it would go on the doily. Gonna line it all up to make sure it's straight, and I'm just gonna kind of pick a line. So I think that one. Press it on there. And then I'm gonna add my butterfly. About there. That looks good. And then I'm just going to cut off the extra of the strip under here. So now you can't see it. And then last, I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle to the butterfly by just picking out some clear sequins that I have for my stash. Let's see this one. Here we go. So I'm just going to add 2. Like that. You can see we made a nice little background with just basically a paper doily.